All right, so Simon, what's next for you?
So there's a lot of projects going on in 2025. My next book, The Elias Enigma, which is the sequel of the Elias Network that came out on November 1st, 2024, really is the second book of my Caspian Anderson series. So what is really cool about this book, something I haven't done with my other books before, is I'm introducing my main character's family. There's a brother, there's parents, and the parents are involved in the plot. And it's another globe-trotting adventure. The first one took place in Zermatt. This one's actually taking place mostly in Bordeaux, France, because my wife and I went there last September. We spent about 2 weeks touring the wine regions. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to write, and there's a lot of foot chases. And the cool thing about it is that I grabbed my iPhone and I walk all the foot chases, trajectories. So what I'm thinking about doing at some point is I'm gonna do like a slow-mo video, and then I'm gonna put it full speed. I'm gonna try to do something cool about that because it was a lot of fun to write. So that's my first project that's coming in 2025, and then I have a book that I'm co-writing with Ryan Stack. It's called The Second Son. It's the first of a series. And that's coming out sometime in November, and we're both super excited about this book. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we hope that both our fans, really the fans for Ryan and mine, will love it as much as if we had written ourselves. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it, and I'm certainly excited to read your new book as well, Kyle. Can you talk to me a little bit about it? Because I read Fade many, many years ago. So is that the same character? Are you bringing in someone else? Like, talk to me a little bit about it.
No, it was many years ago. Yeah, I'd written a book about a character named Salam Al-Fayed, who's an Arab American, former Navy SEAL, had worked for the CIA, and his life had fallen apart, and he kind of became this sort of rocket-propelled suicide machine, and was kind of settling all his scores in this first book, and in the end, had always planned on dying, which in my mind he had. Like we've talked about series versus standalones, and I've thought I'm going to finish this standalone, and I'm really going to finish it. He's going to get shot, and that's going to be the end of it. And all right, I've been thinking about that character forever. And I was getting tons of fan mail. People love the book and the character, and they're like, oh, he wasn't really dead. And I'm like, no, he's definitely dead. And then one day I was on a run and I thought of a way he could not be dead. And, the world has changed in many different ways. And I wanted to write a series that was focused kind of on kind of the chaos of the world, the technology, all these things that we're getting all dragged along in. And he seemed like a perfect character to do it because he's a little dark, he's kind of philosophical, and he can get sucked into things that can get over his head. Whereas, say, a Mitch Rapp is much more of always the master of his universe. Fade is not. So it was a perfect time to bring him back. And I thought, I've always wanted to write another book about him. This is kind of the world has kind of come back around to where I think he'd be a terrific eyes to see it through. And so I've done it, and it was super fun to get back in his head. I wondered if I could, but it happened in like 20 minutes. And actually, do I have it? I just got the ARC on it. So,
Oh, no way. Oh, cool
woo.
cover.
Yeah,
Cool cover.
it is a cool
Yeah.
cover.
So
So,
fans of Fade will recognize it because the cover looks a little bit the same, right? You see
it,
it's a progression.
they had a there's so many weird covers on that book, and one of them, the one I liked the most, was British. And the British have a very weird sensibility about covers. They look really different than American covers. And it was this sort of weird sepia thing. So that's kind of where you're getting this. But he was a woodworker before his life fell apart after the CIA and all this. So if you look at it, it's like barbed wire and like saw blades and stuff. And I really loved that cover. So a little bit inspired, but also my publisher did a great job on that. I wouldn't say I have a great eye for artwork or titles really normally.
So
So
that's coming out in July.
Yeah, the very end of July. Yeah,
So when are you writing on its sequel or the next book in that series?
I am. Yeah, I'm on chapter 10 of the. I just finished chapter 10 of the sequel, or the chapter. Yeah, chapter 10 of the next book in the Fade series. So yeah, so kind of fun to see where that goes, and if people reconnect with this character in the way they did the first time. But I, however, can only do one book a year, so I feel a little lazy
No.
compared to you. But yeah, that's my one project for the year.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think I'm doing one and a half right now. I'm doing one and I'm co-writing another, so it's not really two a year. But that would be another discussion, though. I'd love to get back with you and talk to you about outlining or not, because this is a subject that comes around often, but it's always of interest to me to see how my friends are writing their books, because you're telling me you're at chapter 10 of your next projects. For me, it's like, wow, okay, so that means that you don't know what you're going to have in chapter 15 or you already know. No, it's a whole bunch of questions that maybe we can talk about another time, but that would
Yeah,
be
we should.
interesting.
That always is an interesting one because people are typically violently on one side or the other. They're either like, no, I just sit down with the typewriter, blank page, and off I go, or no, I have the whole thing planned out. There
Right.
doesn't seem to be that many people in the middle.
True. Very
And
true.
people can keep it in their head. I remember talking to Tom Clancy about his books once with just the total assumption you would make that he had some kind of complex outline for those Bible-sized books with 87 subplots in them. And he said, no, I just make that up. I just, I thought I couldn't, I had to take notes reading the books.